Yeah, them the corner screen. What did the Mexicans say when hell? I don't know, man. Real recognizes real. That's right.
So right now, I'm just watching the end of Jake's live stream right now.
Stay dirty. All right, guys. Thank you all for joining me. Again, I may or may not be posting a video up until January, so not sure yet. Just kind of depends on how everything goes. So some ideas that I have. If you have any ideas for short videos,
wonder if you guys hear him on
shoot me
on this live stream
or shoot me an email, something like that. Oh wow! Thanks, Paul. All right, I'm gonna log off here. You all can go hop on Paul's live stream. Appreciate you guys joining me. You guys have a good week.
What's going on, Craig? Thanks for the poncho, man. It's going landfill. How you guys doing? God damn it, Adam. You know Jake's gonna see that and you're gonna hurt his feelings, right? It's all right. Builds character. Let's see here. I haven't used it much yet. I've been kicking around different kits, so I've been building it up because I just bought a new knife in the last couple of weeks. Power move. Well, I only started it because I wanted to see if it would connect. When I first tried to start this up at 6 o'clock, it just sat there and was spinning, so didn't mean to butt in on Jake's live stream. I was just trying to make sure that this one actually works. Kentucky Prepper, how you doing, man? It's good to finally meet you a couple weeks back. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up so we can get some likes on this. Would appreciate it. So we'll just BS this for a couple minutes here. See what trickles in. I don't really have a set plan for this live stream. Been a few weeks. I don't even remember when my last video I posted was up. Take a peek here. No, it's been quite a while. I'll tell you this, it's been a crazy last 2 months. That's for sure. A little over a month ago. So the last time I posted. Hey, there's Jake. I was just watching him. No, he's watching me. And we always got people watching us. Feel kind of creeped out. Not gonna lie. So yeah, I haven't had a chance to make any content or anything the last couple weeks. Went out last week because I got sent a drone. I was shooting that video and got my goddamn drone stuck in a tree. Thing was like 30 feet up in the tree, and just so happened to the propeller hit right into a Y branch. So I spent about 45 minutes last Thursday throwing a branch at this drone to get it out of the tree. Finally got it out of there. Seems to work, so hopefully this week I'll be able to get that video done finally and kind of start knocking out some other product videos that stuff companies have sent me to try out, test out, see how they work, give them some feedback and some reviews. So how's my weather? Today it wasn't too bad. I think it was like mid 30s here. Let's see what the temp is right now. Right now it's about 28. Hell, it was just like 50 like 2 days ago here. So I think it's gonna be in the 30s next couple of days, and then next weekend it goes back into the 40s and rain and stuff. So crazy ass December weather. If only it would stay like this, like 30s, maybe 20s, teens for the majority of the winter here in Wisconsin, that would be awesome. But I know it's not. It's gonna hit down to zero, below zero, and pretty much stay around there. Last winter it was probably 3/4 of the winter was near or below zero. So it kind of killed any kind of shooting any overnighters because that's brutally cold outside. We'll get into that in a little bit here. Let's see. Not sure if you remember me. Yeah, man, I remember you. I remember you, John. That's awesome, dude. So I'm glad you're getting good use out of that. Like the thing with companies that send me products, sometimes I straight up tell them in the video, I'll do a video on it. I'll do my best to get out within a decent time period, but sometimes, life just happens, especially this past year. Just kind of sorting out my own things in life. A lot of like the YouTube content and some of the product reviews that I was meant to do just fell low on the priority list compared to some other things that were going on. So, not to be, shady with those companies, I'm still going to do those videos, but give them some more long-term feedback. Because a lot of the products, like I have 2 power stations, and I left those in my truck all last winter, and they barely lost any charge after 3 months out there. So, damn, dude, look at that Christmas bonus. Better than a beef and cheese platter. So I'm glad you got good use out of it, Jonathan. I might do more giveaways. We'll see. Kind of in the process of kind of refiguring out stuff with the channel. Oof. Yeah, man. That's the one thing I'm afraid of. Next week I'm supposed to get some rain, and I don't want it to turn into the ice, because that basically kills any kind of doing anything outdoors, because it's a pain when you're slipping and sliding all over the place. I swear to God, Jake, this is you messaging me. Yep, there you are. So first thing I wanted to hit on was videos. So like the last 2 months, crazy busy, man, like insanely busy. Did 2 classes, one with Tony in Indianapolis, or right outside of Indianapolis. And then 2 weeks later, did one with him and Jake down in Chesapeake or Huntington area of Southeast Ohio. Came back, was home for about a week or so, and then went to hunt camp for a couple of days. Then I had Thanksgiving, and then these last couple of weeks I've been working on finals, some final projects, things like that, working on a few other things for next year. So it's been just absolutely like swamped with things, and I can like trying to get out and do videos. Like there's some days I'm just so worn out because I'm running all over the place. So Robert, yeah, more videos gonna be coming out. The next couple of weeks, like I said, I'm gonna just be knocking out some product videos of stuff that companies have sent me. So bear with me. I'm not trying to just sit here and push product videos one right after another. I'm trying to do right by those companies that reached out to me, get out that video, get out the feedback, get out those reviews on their products. And then basically from January moving forward, I'm going to kind of change a few things on how I'm doing videos. So right now, what I'm doing is going through all of my gear, and I'm purging a lot of stuff. Just this past couple of days, I sold a couple of packs, a couple other miscellaneous pieces of gear. I'm going to be continually doing that. If you're on Facebook, definitely recommend getting on the Wisman Trading post. I post a lot of stuff in there for sale. But I will, if you're not on Facebook and you're like on Instagram, I will throw something up on there anytime I'm selling stuff. So at least you have a chance to buy something if it's something you're interested in. Basically, what I'm doing currently is completely revamping a lot of my camping gear. Now, the main reason I'm going through this is my long-term goal has always been to go out west and backpack hunt, whether that's in the Southwest, down in like New Mexico or Arizona, or all the way up to Wyoming, Idaho, Washington State, all those places. So I'm starting to kind of relook at all the things that I carry and start tailoring it more to that, but still have the versatility to do anything else that I want to do. Obviously, over the last 5 years of doing survival training and teaching, I can get by with very little, and I know for sure that I can do that. It's exactly like Jake was talking about with like the full tang knife or partial tang or rat tang, any of those. Once you get to a certain skill level with any of those tools, you can make those work extremely well. I mean, hell, look at some of the stuff that Sean does on his channel. He can do a lot with a very little amount of gear. So, there's that old saying of, the more you know, the less you carry. And that's a valid point. Not trying to take anything away from Moores when he said that. But also, the more you know, the more capable you are with the gear that you carry. So, for me, I know my goal is to go out west and do backpack hunting, which is going to entail me to bring everything I'm going to need in for however long I'm going to be out there. Hoping eventually to get out there to where I'm out there for 10, 14 days at a pop. So ensuring that I have gear that's, number one, versatile enough to serve me well while I'm out there, but also be durable enough and meet the needs that I may face while I'm out there. So lots of stuff, just sorting through it, seeing what I'm going to get rid of. But with that, so starting next month, I'm going to start going through what I have collected for different aspects of what I'm going to be testing out this winter. So making it my goal to get out and camp at least once or twice a month so I can test out, a lot of winter gear. Because the thing is, if you can see the capabilities of your gear during the winter time, summertime, it's breeze. Like, you don't even have to think about it. Winter is such a challenging season to camp in. So if you can become proficient in camping in the wintertime, you can handle any other season without problems. One caveat is spring, depending on where you're at. Like, I know if I was in the Pacific Northwest, man, I'd be floating down the river at some point because they get so much rain. So understanding that the gear you're carrying addresses the weather that you're going to be facing, or the possible weather that you're going to be facing. So sorting through a lot of different stuff, finding that fine balance between lightweight but durable and giving me the capabilities I want. So kind of my thought process I'm currently in as I'm in the last week of classes for the semester before I start classes again in a month. Let's see, anything else with the videos? But yeah, I mean, I'm always open to different video ideas within reason. Obviously, I don't have unlimited resources to go out and do anything I want, but I definitely listen to recommendations. So how's it going venturing around? I did 2 weeks in Glacier National Park this past summer. It's true. This is more the train is no joke, especially. Yeah, man, that comes to mind when I went and did the winter class in the Adirondacks. So growing up here in Wisconsin, where I'm at, I'm boxed in on two sides with two lakes. I got Lake Superior to the north and Lake Michigan to the east. So if you know anything about lake effect, it significantly amplifies whatever weather you're experiencing. I know if I go 20 minutes to the east, there's pouring rain over there, but where I'm at, it's dry and sunny. That lake effect is no joke. So our winters are pretty brutal. Not as brutal as like the UP. Like, that's a whole, I mean, you better damn near in the Arctic Circle for all I care. I mean, it's so crazy up there. I want to see a No Knot Ridgeline video. I think we can make that happen. Let's see here. Like the start, keep your content tailored to what you want in the woods. Exactly, Adam. I mean, that's a thing with anyone that makes content. I didn't catch the first part of Jake's live stream, but I kind of looked at some of the comments, and it looks like he was kind of talking about making videos and content and stuff like that. Number one, you got to enjoy what you're putting out there. I seen this clip from, I believe it was Rick Rubin. And if you don't know who Rick Rubin is, he's a music producer. He's produced like Run DMC and all sorts of different bands and artists and stuff. But he was talking about art And when you're putting out art, and you can think about content creators as artists really, because they're putting out a project of some sort. Now, when you're putting out art or whatever you're putting out, especially on the internet, number one, it's got to be something that you're enjoying, because that's when how you're going to feel more fulfilled. If you're out there trying to, one up someone or shift the spotlight, or whatever the case may be, are you really enjoying it at the end of the day? Is that content that makes your soul happy? And that's something I think I was trying to look for the majority of this year, is changing how I do my content, both just my Instagram posts, as well as videos. I wanted to do something that was meaningful for me, number one, because if it's meaningful for me, I'm going to want to continue to do it. And that's long term is going to be the most productive thing. So, with thinking about putting that content out there, like as Rick Rubin was saying, be happy with whatever you're creating and create that to the best of your ability. Some people are going to love it. Some people are going to hate it. But at the end of the day, that you put the best effort you possibly could into your art. And that's really what we're doing as content creators, is we're putting out our art out there. It's no different from putting out a short film or a movie or a TV show. It's just a little bit different process, a little bit different platform, obviously, than those outlets, but we're all still achieving the same thing. It's no different from like books and paintings. You can look at comic books. I mean, that's a form of art in reality. Some people may not view it as that, but if you look at how things are laid out, someone's taking the time to draw that or write that, that's art at the end of the day, in the spirit of it. Oh man, what are you and Adam getting into in here, Jake? I like the thought process. Keep working. Yeah, just in case there's no sticks on the ground. I mean, I don't know about you. I can't ever find no sticks on the ground when I'm in the woods. Speaking of that, I forgot to call you. Way to go, Jake. Trying to think, there was some other stuff I want to talk about, but I'm kind of spacing on. As a consumer, I can say 100% that it's truth. If you're hammering out content. Exactly. I mean, and that anytime you, as a content creator, if you're out there just hammering out video after video for views or for sales or for whatever the motivation is, other than doing it to share your perspective on things, people can see through that. My goal with my channel has always been to be, give you some straight up feedback. Whether I work for a company, I'm getting paid by the company, they give me stuff for free. I've always told companies, I'm going to give my straight up honest opinion of it. If it conflicts with what you're hoping for, then let's not go forward with it. But if you're all right with that, then we can go forward with it. I'm not sacrificing my own integrity with my channel and my social media to push anyone else's agenda. I think far too often you see that happen in some circles, and it's kind of unfortunate, but everyone's got to live the life the best they see fit. And, I might not agree with it, but it might make sense to them. So more power to them. Do your thing, make your money. At the end of the day, it's all what we're trying to do out here. Let's keep it honest. Exactly. I like watching the outdoor gear review. So I don't watch a ton of survival channels per se. I watch a lot of backpack hunting videos. I watch a lot of random stuff, to be completely honest with you. I watch a lot of geopolitical stuff since that relates to my degree, but I've always found that stuff interesting. But for like straight up survival stuff, I don't watch a ton. I'll watch a couple here and there. But the outdoor gear review, and there's been speculation with his channel, if he gets paid or not paid or anything. And I don't know. I've talked to Luke a few times through emails. he seems like a straight up honest dude, and that comes through on his videos. So I'm going to go with what I can see, not with speculation through the grapevine. Because, you know, if you've ever played a game of telephone, by the time that phone call comes back around, it's a completely different message than it started. So with content creators, something that I came across, let me see if I can find the post on Instagram. But in the last couple of weeks, I seen a post about a content creator or an outdoor influencer. Let's see if this can come up here. Yeah, it might be too blurry. But anyway, this guy in this photo, I think he goes by Mr. Adventure or something online. But basically, he's accused of illegally killing 3 bears in the Yukon, illegally harvesting 3 bears. I don't know the particulars. I've just seen that post. I've seen other issues like this come up last couple of years with different content creators. I'm trying to get this lighting right here. I don't get it. Like, if you're going out there, if you're an outdoorsman, a woodsman, backpacker, whatever the case may be, you know, we're stewards of the land. You know, why are you out here acting like an asshole and illegally harvesting something you don't have a tag for, or taking things out of a protected wildlife area that is protected for a reason? You know, that illegally harvesting shit, excuse my language, is one of the things that kind of pissed me off with influencers and content creators. It's like, you're doing this to push your business, your agenda, and you're screwing over the next person that's going out there. And as an outdoor professional, as a instructor, as coach, however you want to think of it, you know, we should be the leading example of that. We shouldn't be out there, you know, illegally harvesting animals, plants, plant material, anything off the landscape if we shouldn't be doing that. It not only makes the community look bad, and what's going to end up happening if that continues to happen and it gets out of control is, just like anything else, government's going to make laws tightening the control on those areas. And then guess what? No one's out there practicing bushcraft. We're not making anything off the landscape. We can only camp in established campgrounds. You know, things that people just don't think of. They think about, oh, this is going to help my bottom dollar. It's going to chase that next buck. And it just kind of pisses me off when I see that shit. It absolutely drives me nuts. Yeah, the Outdoor Boys. Enough ranting. Let's move on to some positive news here. The Outdoor Boys. So I came across that guy's channel a couple times over the last couple years, and he puts out good videos. Like, it's nothing revolutionary. He ain't trying to reinvent the wheel. He just goes out there and does his thing. Like, I seen one of his videos pop up in my feed either earlier today or last night, and it was up for like 20 hours and had 1.2 million views on that bad boy. I'm like, God damn, like, that dude, he figured something out, and he's killing it in the views, which is awesome. You know, I like to see other people succeed in whatever they're doing. Not out here trying to constantly stir up high school drama. I mean, there's enough of that shit in the world that you know, we don't need to affect our own community with that, but you'll still find that out there. But it's whatever. But his channel is pretty cool. I watch his videos from time to time. Let's see. Exactly. I just like you, Jake. I mean, we do this stuff enough where it's like, man, like, how many times can you watch someone make a bow drill or make a buck saw or build a shelter? No knocking if that's what you're doing with your content, but you know, for me as someone does this professionally, you know, I like to watch other things that kind of keep me engaged with other things. Like, I watch stuff on sports, even though I don't follow sports to any kind of degree that I used to. I watch a lot of like more documentary type based stuff on sports, just because I like to look back and see, you know, just cool stuff that's happened in the past with that. Hard to get honest. You ain't kidding, Jonathan, man. Like, I watch a lot of different reviews before I buy something. And I actually came across a pretty cool channel just in the last week called The Mindful Hunter. If you're kind of into backpacking, camping, anything like that, he does some pretty good videos. It's more backpack hunting centric, but he did one where he spent like $5,000 on a Kafaro pack, Mystery Ranch, Kuyu, Stone Glacier, a bunch of like backpack hunting packs, and did a whole breakdown on them and rated them. And I know he did one with tents too. None of the tents where I was too interested in, so I didn't end up watching it, but I watched a bunch of his other videos, and that's pretty good. But yeah, man, it's hard to find legit reviews that aren't paid for, or there's some underlying narrative behind them. Yeah, I seen that last year, Adam. It just, I don't get it. Like, aren't you trying to avoid getting in trouble with the law? Like, I don't necessarily want to go to fucking jail or prison or anything. Excuse my language, but it just irks me, man. I don't get it. Yeah, the guy from Outdoor Boys his stuff is just real chill. It's like it reminds me of like what are they call the ASMR videos where you just play them and you just kind of zone out. So exactly, that's what I liked about Luke's channel. I pretty much watched him since he pretty much started his channel, and he just goes out there, does his thing, not worried about the drama and outdoor content creator industry and all the other shit that's going on out there. He just goes out there, has a good time. Sun, rain, snow, ice storm, he's out there doing it, and that's awesome. Yeah, man, my internet, and I'm in town here, and it still from time to time kind of goes crap on me, especially when I tend to try to do these live streams. Sometimes it like sits there and buffs. I'm thinking of switching over to how's it called, fiber optic internet, because then I can run it straight into my house and have like really, really fast internet. Because the stuff I get from Spectrum, man, it's sometimes I'm getting 500, 600, 700 megabytes per hour or per minute, or however it breaks down to. Sometimes it drops to just over 100, and I'm just like, man, I'm paying for the fastest internet you guys sell, and this is what I'm having to deal with. It's kind of annoying, but what you gonna do? But yeah, taught some classes with Jake. We're talking about doing some more next year. Nothing officially on the books. The only thing that I have officially on the books for next year right now is in March. I'm going to be down in LeBron, Kentucky for the, I messed up the name, the Bushcraft Homesteading and Preparedness Expo. If you're interested in that, look that up. I think the website is gunpreparedness.com. I know Jake has it posted up in a lot of his links, but Sean posts about it. So a bunch of us are going to be there. I'm doing the photography for the event, so good chance to snap some good pictures of you and post those up online. So trying to get more involved in the photography realm of things because I have a lot of fun doing that. That was actually a passion that really grew out of my passion for the outdoors. So yeah, that's kind of what I like doing. I kind of nerd out on that, and I didn't take a college level course or anything like that. I'm just kind of figuring it out as I'm going, developing the eye for photos that I think are going to look good for me. I post them up, and I get comments all the time from people that ask me what camera I'm using, how I've learned all this. And end of the day, it's just you get up there and you start taking pictures, as many pictures as you can. Yeah, I'll be back at Jake's. I'll probably be down there when Tony and Joe Price are doing their class in April. I was debating if I was going to go hang out at the class they're doing in Illinois or down at Jake's. And I think I'm just going to go down to Jake's. Twice as long of a drive, but I get to hang out with all the guys, so can't ever beat that. It's always fun, even if it means a lack of sleep. So yeah, me and Jake are talking. Me, Jake, Tony, potentially Sean. So you might see the corporal at a class with us. We're talking about doing some additional classes. I know Tony and Joe are doing an intermediate class that weekend. We've been kicking around the idea of doing an advanced class, some land nav classes. So nothing officially, really started there. We're all more of just talk at the moment. But obviously, once those things start, coming to reality and get posted up, y'all are gonna know, because we will tell all of you, all of our social media on here. Trademark. Gonna have to pay them. Got to pay the gatekeepers they're told to get into the industry, I guess. But I mean, that's something we could talk about. When Tony posted that class that him and Joe are doing of the intermediate class, I know there's discussion on the internet if, certified or however, whatever the terminology was, no one owns any of these skills, or what did it call them? Systems. I mean, they're all come from somewhere else. They learned it from someone else. They didn't just like wake up one day, I have this brilliant idea, let's do all this stuff with survival. Like, come on, let's be honest here. If you look up Ron Hood, he was doing this in the 90s. I actually bought a bunch of his DVDs last year that I haven't gotten into quite yet. I bought off one off eBay. But he was doing this stuff, hell, in the 90s. Moore's was doing this stuff in the 80s. Like, these guys were doing it for a really long time before it was popular, or, shows were on Discovery, or Alone was around, or any of these other survival shows. These guys were out there teaching stuff, showing how it's done. I mean, it's pretty incredible that, some people are out there trying to, claim intermediate class is my class, or this class is my class. I'm like, hell, man, there's a lot of people out here teaching a lot of the same stuff. Like, it's all good, man. Why you tripping? Like, we in high school no more. Let's see. That was a bold statement from someone that stole their entire curriculum from Ron Hood. Oh, snap. Jake, you really got to stop letting your thoughts come out, even though we're all thinking it. But I mean, if you don't know what Jake's talking about, just do some digging. You'll figure it out. Yeah, man, I don't get it, man. With this ego tripping, it's exhausting. Like, I left the situation because I was sick of it. But here I am, a year later, and that shit's still following me around. It's like, goddamn, dude, we in high school, this ain't Mean Girls. I ain't Lindsay Lohan. Like, come on. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. People are strange out here bitching and complaining. Have whole channels based around that. Like, cool. All right, man. That makes you happy. Do your thing. I mean, for me, with this year off really from teaching, other than the last 2 classes in the last few months, a lot of time for me to reflect. Obviously, I ain't innocent and never claimed to be, but it just, at this point, I want to move on and do my thing. Like, it's like always hearing through the grapevine, this is going on, this is being said. I'm just like, God damn, dude, like, some dudes out there are grandpas and still out there doing this shit. It's like, okay, boomer, calm down. Anyway, Prepared Irishman, how's it going, my dude? So let's see what else I got going on. Might be going to Europe next year. So maybe in the fall I might be going to Europe. A couple of places I'm potentially looking at going, but nothing official yet. Birthday's next month. Probably go black for a couple of days there. So go dark. Go out of town. So, like I said, plan to do some winter camping. So, kind of with those videos with the winter camping, obviously I'm gonna do the overnighter of it. Shoot that from, being out there and showing the reality of, camping out there in the elements, like especially winter, man. Like I said, that is a brutal season. Like regardless, even if you don't camp, winter sucks. You go out there, man. I ain't sleeping out winter in a cobbler bedroll or bivy or crazy shit like that. It's like, bro, the weather, time and place for that stuff. Might test some of that stuff out, see how it actually works in reality. It's like something I say at a lot of classes. Everything works when it's drawn on a piece of paper or written on a piece of paper, but something can sound bulletproof when you write it down and draw it out and all that, but you get it out there and do it in reality, and it's a whole different ballgame. Get out there and learn the ins and outs of the actual systems that are being preached. Like test that stuff out for your own worth. You get that experience to figure out what's legit, what's not legit, what's fluff, what's BS, what's legit. That's why, like, personally, I follow a lot of stuff that backpack hunters are doing. Because some of them people are out there for 10, 14 days. Hell, I want to say that I've even seen podcasts where dude was out there for like 20 days with just a pack full of stuff. And granted, in those situations, you're going to have to carry a significantly larger pack. You're not getting out there with a 40-liter pack and making that work. You're carrying 60, 70, 100-plus liter pack because you're packing on a lot of stuff, man. You're basically living out there for however long you're going to be out there. And, you have to figure out just because, let's say, for instance, I say this is what I carry, doesn't necessarily mean that makes perfect sense for you. Like for a long time, last couple of years, I've been using this ultralight sleeping pillow because the hell else you use a pillow? But the pillow, it probably packs down like this big. The problem with it is the fabric on the outside is so slick because it's like a silk almost like a silk that it slips and slides all over the place. It drives me absolutely bonkers. And it works, but I'm going back to like a memory foam sleeping or a pillow because it's just so much more comfortable. I've done the whole stuff a dry sack. It works, but the thing with sleep, you got to be comfortable when you sleep, man. Like I ain't trying to wake up multiple times a night to shift around and refluff the dry sack full of clothes or whatever else is in there. Like I just want stuff that works. I'm not trying to go with the absolute bare bones and make everything multifunctional. If that means I got to carry a big ass pillow, I'm carrying a big ass pillow to sleep well out there. I actually just bought a new sleeping pad, and I bought a long wide because even though I'm not over 6 foot tall, how I sleep, I usually sleep on one of my arms, kind of like this. So my arm hangs off. And what I found that was happening is my feet start hanging off on the other end. So I'm like, well, I'm just going to get a long, wide pad because then I don't have to worry about, my feet hitting the ground and then eventually getting cold because that ground is going to compress the insulation, feet going to get cold, so forth and so on. Figure out your gear, what works best and ideal for you, for what you do, because there's not one size fits all. It's like finding a pack or buying a set of boots. What works for me ain't gonna work for you. Can guarantee it. The bag I'm using, so for this winter, what I'm going to be using, I have a 0 degree top quilt from Hammock Gear, so I'll be using that. I have the Marine Corps sleep system, which I like a lot because it's extremely versatile. You have a black bag and you have a brown bag. You use them separately. They're really good for different temperature ranges. I'm kind of spacing at the top of my head, but you put them together, you get even lower. So I'm going to be using those. I have a couple other bags too that I'm going to use throughout winter. and kind of refine that. Obviously, here in Wisconsin, definitely going to need a 0-degree bag for probably the majority of winter. But I do have a teepee tent with a titanium stove that I'm going to be using as well. I've had it for a couple years and just haven't gotten a chance to get out and put it through its paces. But what's nice with something like that is I can process a bunch of wood. I could carry a 20-degree bag, good sleeping pad, because I have that stove. Now I don't need a 0-degree bag, and I'm saving myself a couple ounces there. It's all relative. You can kind of save and shave weight here and there, but I'll be doing a video showing each part of what I'm going to be using this winter. Sleep system, shelter systems, packs, different things like that. Those big three for sure, and then kind of moving off from there with some other miscellaneous videos. No lie, if I take a pillow camping, I have a mini My Pillow. It compresses like crazy and feels like I'm at home. Yeah, man. So, I mean, I've tried a lot of different pillows. Like what the hell is that one company? Trekology. I used one of their pillows for a while. The one I'm going to buy is from Xped. If you don't know, that's by far my favorite sleeping pad company or sleeping gear company. I've had so much success with those. None of their pads that I've ever failed. Although I'm probably going to get rid of my winter pad from them just because it's kind of a pain in the ass to blow up because it's got a pump built into it. So you got to sit there for like 5 minutes and pump on this thing to get it up. But it's got an R value of 9. And I've never been cold on that pad. What pillow do you recommend if all I've ever used is a feather pillow? I would say hop on Amazon. Trekology makes a good budget-friendly pillow, like $15 or $20. Xped, if you're looking at more of like a memory foam pillow, those are really good. I use an REI one in my truck a lot. So like if I'm on the road and I'm just taking a quick nap, I can pull that pillow out of my back seat and put it behind my head and zonk out. Lots of good pillows out there. It's just a matter of form factor, weight, your personal comfort. The one that I've been using the last couple years is made by a company called Cocoon, and it's their ultralight pillow. I don't remember what it's called, but it's purple and black, and it works great. But it's just minor annoyances with it that, for me, I want something that, when I put my head on it, I'm passing out and not waking up until I want to get up. Big thing that I've been searching out right now is a puffy layer. So if you look at like the Marine Corps and the Army, their PCU uniforms, they're level 7. I've been trying to track down a Marine Corps set that's extra large. You'd think it would be a lot easier, but it's kind of a pain in the ass to find it, that someone's not trying to rake you over the coals for it. So keep looking around, see what I can come across. But I actually just went to Cabela's earlier today after I went for a hike to check out a puffy jacket in their hunting section, which I think I'm going to buy that because that thing packed down super small. No, I mean, like my sleeping bag. I don't. I mean, you could use your sleeping bag as a pillow. Oh, you're talking about your pack. I've done that, and that definitely works. For me, it's just like, there's one area that I don't sacrifice on. It's my sleep system. I'm willing to carry heavier stuff if it means I get a better night of sleep. I already sleep like hell. Like, I don't need to exacerbate that by trying to, carry the lightest weight thing or make something multifunctional type thing. That, for me personally, I don't want to waste my time doing that. It's, I tell people when I outfit them at REI, 3 things are going to kick your ass the quickest outdoors other than the actual hiking or backpacking. Number 1 is your footwear, because your feet take you everywhere. If you're wearing the wrong footwear, can almost guarantee you're going to get speed up significantly faster if you just would have took the time to find the right footwear for the trip you're going on, for your feet, figuring that all out. Second is your sleep system, because regardless of what anyone in the military would try and make you believe, you got to sleep at some point. You know, you can only stay up so long before your body falls asleep. Spirit of Systems just really put out a really good video. I think it was yesterday or the day before, about sleep systems and sleeping and stuff like that. And I forgot the guy's name that's in the video, but he was talking about at Ranger School how guys will eventually be kneeling down for a brief and they'll be dozing off. You know, you can only fight biology so long. It's just like the weather. You can only fight Mother Nature so long before Mother Nature wins. And she always wins. Biology always wins. You know, I drink a lot of caffeine, but at a certain point, my body crashes. You know, so sleep is absolutely critical, not just when we're outdoors, but in everyday life. And the United States is notoriously bad for getting enough sleep. So for me, I make sure that I carry a really good sleep system that works best for me. And then the third thing that's probably going to get you the most on a trail or on a trip is your pack. If you wear an ill-fitting pack, guarantee you're going to get rubbed raw somewhere, or have aches and pains you never thought you could have. Or you'd be trying to, you know, fit 10 pounds of gear in a 5-pound bucket. You know, I'd rather carry a little bit bigger pack that I know that I have extra room, just in case, you know, I need to pick something up, or, you know, it makes life easier when I'm packing up at the end of the trip. You know, a lot of these things people say, you know, I carry this because it's super light, packs down super small. Great, that's awesome when you're at home getting all this stuff ready. But how's that pack up at the end of the trip when you're exhausted and you just want to get home? You know, I'm actually switching to a 2 dry bag system for any pack that I use over 50 liters. So, you know, one's going to have sleep system, everything that involved with that. And then the other one's going to carry a lot of my other gear. And then I'll have my tent or whatever shelter either floating freely in the pack or in that sleep system bag. Let's see here. You would have a TP, of course, man. I gotta live as my people lived. Let's see. Emphasis on the TP. Hey, don't be jealous you can't fit into a TP tent, Jake. Dude, you ain't lying. You know how many different puffy layers I've looked at in the last couple of days? Like, I've looked at Sitka and First Light and Black Ovis. The reason I went to the PCU system, or trying to find the Marine Corps equivalent, is because all the gear for the military really is built very generally. It's not tailored to a specific body type. It's got to work for a lot of different people. So I would say for a puffy layer, Jake, if you don't mind not having a camo pattern, look at the Army or the Marine Corps PCU system. The largest I've seen is an XL, but I know it's sized larger. I've also looked at Beyond Clothing's puffy layers, and I might pick up some of theirs. We'll see. Depends on what I can find. But yeah, dude, struggle is real when you're thick. Sleep when you're dead. Be dead a lot quicker if you don't get the sleep. Amazon brand puffers come in all sizes. They're not bad. I have to check that out, Morrison. Venture around. Hunting sea cushion. Yeah, I mean that could work too. You know, I'm not saying not to have things that are multifunctional, but you know, put it in perspective, man. Don't try and make this do 100 things when you could carry 2, maybe 3 things that split those responsibilities up, but do them to a higher level. Kind of how Jake talked about, you know, stuff in the survival industry, man. There's a lot of like great in thought, but in reality, could probably be practiced a little bit better. Let's see. One of the big puffy ones. So the stove I have, I think mine is from Seek Out Seek Outdoors. Can't remember. It's one of their older ones. I actually bought it off a rock slide a couple years ago for like dirt cheap. They're really, really small. I would say it's probably a foot by a foot, and then probably roughly about a foot in depth. I know with the stove in the teepee tent, I'm looking at like 4 pounds total weight, which hell, you can find some tents that aren't even that light. So, lots of really good stoves out there. Just find one that fits in your budget. That's the biggest struggle with any kind of stove for a hot tent. Any that are going to be able to be backpacked in, they're going to be expensive unless you're going to build one. So, I did pick up a bunch of stuff a couple years ago to build my own hot tent stove. So if you go to like Menards or hardware stores and you buy like that HVAC ducting, you can get different pieces if you kind of place them together when you're at the store, you can figure out, okay, I can get these to fit together and make them. The thing you're going to have to do with any of that HVACing duct is you're going to have to put that stuff in vinegar to take the galvanization off. So you don't want to keep that on there and burn a stove, especially if you're going to be cooking or having inside a tent or anything like that. Don't want any issues. But the other place I would look, if you can't afford some of the ones from companies in the United States here, hop on AliExpress or Alibaba. Shit ton of companies here in the United States buy their stuff off there and slap their brand on it. But you can get hot tent stoves on there, and I think they range from $200 to $300, which is real comparable to some companies here in the States. So spend your money where you want to go, where you want to vote with your dollars. I can't make that choice for you. You got to figure that out. Nothing wrong with the way of our ancestors. Definitely not, man. Can't forget the past. It's like with traditional, bushcraft and camping and all this. I definitely like the aesthetic of some of that stuff. But look at like Nesmith. If he was here in this day and age, I can probably almost guarantee he'd be an ultralight backpacker to some degree. He'd be using Dyneema or Cuban fiber stuff. He would be using the lightest things he could get away with that are still going to be durable and get him out there. If you look at the shelter, I can't remember if it was in his book or another book, but the shelter he used, he wasn't out there constructing a cabin. He had framework, and then he had a tarp specifically made for that frame. So then he set it up, put his tarp on it, bing, bang, done, camp set up in an hour. Like me being Native American, I get Jake always jokes me about this. He's like, why don't you learn these primitive skills? And it's like, well, I could learn them. I don't have no problem with that. But like, you think my ancestors, once they found a lighter, they'd be like, I'm gonna sit here and do this bow drill every time I need a fire. They'd be like, hell no, give me that lighter, man. I'm gonna just get this thing going first as fast as I can. There's nothing wrong with appreciating the past and dabbling in that, but like that doesn't make up, for me personally, doesn't make up how I approach the outdoors. Where I can see that crossover and where I see it fit, I'll incorporate it. For the most part, I'm all about being as efficient as possible in the outdoors, enjoying the outdoors. I don't want to sit there and work to be comfortable or create a fire or to create a shelter. I'm out there to enjoy nature, not work my ass off. I do that enough in town. I wanted to make an ammo can stove. Yeah, I thought about doing that too. Just haven't. Just too damn busy. Galvanizing, poisoning sucks was bad. Got once from a well. Yeah, no shit. Like I've never experienced that, but from what I've researched, I'm like, hell no, I ain't trying to deal with that, man. That's no bueno. No bueno. Yeah, man, I just wanted to hop on here, do a quick little update on things now that, finally seen the light at the end of the tunnel, my first semester back in school. It's been crazy busy semester. Like on average, I think I had 5 assignments due every single week. So that really hinders getting out and making content, because a couple days off a week I do get off. It's like, man, I need a day to fucking finally recover because I'm running like crazy and knock out homework, and then that, so apologize for not getting out as much content as I'd want, but we'll enough pitter patter. We're gonna get at her. What's going on, Ryan? Appreciate that Leatherman you sold me, man. It's gonna come in great for a little project I'm putting together. But yeah, next couple weeks probably be some more product review type videos. Unfortunately, might throw some other things in there. We'll see. But starting after New Year's is where we're going to really hit the ground running with, seeing the different systems that I'm going to be using in winter, and I'm going to be updating those as I go. Same with like different skills. So kind of doing like a whole refresh of all the survival videos, because if you look back, it's kind of, I'm doing this here, I'm doing that there, I'm doing this here, I'm doing that there. And the main reason I've always done that is I've kind of modeled it after like a variety show or a late night show. The main reason a lot of those shows are so successful is because they're doing a lot of different kind of skits. I don't want to get shoehorned into I'm doing only this series right now, because number one, that's going to get real stale for me, since I got an ADD brain, and I'm going to be like, oh, squirrel's over there, I'm going to go find that squirrel real quick. But it's kind of how I'm thinking with what I want to do with the channel, is focus it a little bit more, but still have that variety. Also, it keeps you all interested. I don't want to keep hammering the same stuff over and over again. And, hey, buy this product. Hey, do this. Do this, and I'm doing this. Like, come on, man. Let's make this fun for all of us. How about a small camp out to get together next year in Kentucky? I'm going to be in Kentucky next in March. I don't know how the weather is down in Kentucky, but I'm going to be down on the Brun. I'll be at an event though. So, but it's not out of the realm of possibility, man. Hell, we might even be able to convince Jake to do a little gathering, little Buckeye, Southern Ohio gathering. Just saying. Let's see. I bet you this is Jake messaging me again. Nope. It is the corporal himself. I ain't going to play that on here because I'll probably get demonetized. Yeah, we'll definitely be running some more classes at Jake's property for sure. I'm gonna connect with a group here that I was kind of involved with before I started my whole training to become an instructor. So I'm hoping once I get back involved with them, that'll open up the possibility to do some classes here on a pretty big property that's right next to the National Forest. So lots of stuff going on. We're trying to hammer out a few different kind of classes at the moment. But as I said, once we get those set up and posted and official, y'all are going to be first to know. Let's see here. Variety is the spice of life. 100%. I thought Jake stopped that. Hey, yo, we. Don't get Jake started on the Sasquatches again, man. I told you, man. You should really see his book collection. It's kind of made me uncomfortable. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist I got. Spend another couple of minutes on here. If you guys have questions, fire them away. Jake stops that. So the reason I said the Sasquatch romance novels on Jake's live stream, so I didn't know this was an actual thing, like until, I don't know, 6, maybe 7 years ago. Maybe, I don't know, roughly about that time. I was watching one of Joe Rogan's podcasts, and I can't remember who he was talking to, but that's no lie. That is a category of books. It's Sasquatch, Bigfoot, romance novels. Like, I was like, no way. no way that this is a thing. Sure enough. I mean, I did say in my economics class early on in college, we were talking about starting businesses, and I was like, well, hell, look back in the '70s, some dude's a millionaire after selling rocks. He sold a pet rock, and man, that thing was a big thing in the '70s. The thing I say for that, maybe not so PG is, I mean, look at some of the adult entertainment that's out there. Someone's paying for that if they're making it. I mean, it's not my gig, but hey, someone's out there is enjoying that, so they're really willing to pay for it. And I'm like, man, like I said, people are strange, man. More ways than one. 50 Shades of Squatch, man. Jake, you make me wonder sometimes. Right? No kidding, man. It's like, goddamn. So that's another thing. If you have a business idea or if you want to do something for a living, you can definitely make it happen. If you see how people make money doing all sorts of stuff nowadays, like especially today in today's day and age, with how booming the internet is for a lot of businesses. If you got an idea, run with it. The worst that's going to happen is it doesn't work out, and you got to figure out something else. It's like going out on my own. Same with Jake and Tony and Sean. It's at a certain point you have to go out and venture out and see what you're capable of doing. I took a business ethics class this semester. I actually have to do a presentation for that class tomorrow. And one of the weeks we were talking about loyalty in companies, and our workers. Trying to think of how the question is worded. Basically, should workers be loyal to the company? And my opinion on that discussion board was workers don't owe a company any more loyalty than what's showed to them or what the perceived culture is for that company. Especially here in the United States, company will cut you if you've been there for 10 years. They'll cut you just because it's a numbers game. I think that mindset has shifted a lot, especially after the last couple of years. Where in the 50s, 60s, company loyalty was a big thing. That's not so much the case anymore because people realize the tactics that companies employ, to save them money, to make them the most profit. To the end of the day, you're just a number to them. You're just a cog in the machine, and no matter what they tell you to their face, at the end of the day, it's all about what the bottom line is. And if that means cutting here to make more here, they're going to do that. So this whole thing with loyalty and to the company or the business, the brand, or however you want to word it, it's kind of a crock, because if they can make more money, they're going to take actions that are going to make them more money. If that means cutting you, if you had, the most experienced person on their staff, if that makes them more money at the end of the day, chances are they're probably going to do it. And I think that's what a lot of people figured out with businesses and how business is practiced here in the United States at a larger scale. I don't think you really get that too much on small business, but I haven't worked for a ton of small businesses. I've worked for a few, and I've had pretty good times with all the businesses I've worked with for the most part. Let's see. There you go, Jake. There's your $1 million idea. Make Sasquatch calendars. Yeah, man. Venture around. That's when I learned that out, man. I couldn't believe it. I was like, man, you kidding me? Someone's making money off writing these books. Like, more power to you, but goddamn, chicks make $1 million. Exactly, man. I joke with some of the girls I work with, or women I work with. They're like, oh, I picked up this second job to help with funds. I'm like, man, why don't you start selling farts jars and toe pictures online, because people are making a killing doing that. Don't know why, but someone out there is buying it, man. It's crazy. My name is Daryl. I don't know what you mean there, venturing around, but well, if you guys don't have any more questions, and before this thing really degenerates into some more interesting conversations than Sasquatch romance novels, I'm gonna hop off here. I think I have one video that I can edit up and post this week, but Wednesday I'll probably shoot a couple of videos, and then just start cycling out some of these product videos. And then probably that first week in January, we'll start hammering out the sleep systems and shelters and different things I'm going to be using this winter, giving you feedback, saying, keeping almost like a journal. And I'm kicking around the ideas of the name for it, but the one I've had for it it's called a wampum. It's Iroquois. It's actually a beaded, almost like banner, but that's how they kept track of history and treaties between different tribes. So I'm incorporating that into the name of that series, the Winter Wampum or something. I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but we'll get that going first thing of January, and then kind of get off and running, and hopefully see you at a class or an event next year. Craig, those are my people too. I'm actually Oneida, so hell, we might be related somewhere down the line. But y'all stay well, get out in the woods, learn something new this week. We'll catch you guys. I think next Sunday I work till like 10 o'clock, so I probably won't be doing a live. Maybe I'll do one in the morning when the corporal drops his video. Nah, I don't need Sean mad at me. But we'll do another live sometime next week. So you guys stay safe out there. I will see y'all next week.